Hello together, very short update on the financial markets here because we are in the last week here before Christmas Eve, and we here in Germany we have 3 full days of celebration, so nothing much with financial markets and trading and so on. And then we got a couple of days between Christmas and the New Year. I think I will make a more in-depth video there, but a couple of things I want to cover with you before we get into celebration mode. And I got also a couple of new things I want to introduce you for the next year, but all of that after Christmas, but before New Year. I want to start with you, like always, with my 4 main assets: S&P 500, US oil, gold, and Bitcoin, followed by the most important single stocks, indices, crypto, etc. I have on my watch list. We'll go through the flagged ones here, but a little bit quicker than usually. Let's start directly in with the weekly time frame on the S&P 500 index. Here on the S&P 500 weekly time frame, intact uptrend so far, pretty near a new all-time high. Even that MACD is crossing to the downside, recovered from the small dip below the 10-week moving average. On the daily time frame, you can see we are in a sideways consolidation, or we at least exceeded this ABC pattern to the upper side. Point B already broken. That was my first entry. Then we have seen prices come down. I went out with 1/5 of my risk. I was losing with that trade. I talked about that last episode, and I said, okay, if we take then out this high here that was evolving pretty near the prior all-time high, we take that one out, pretty sure we will continue higher. So I placed my stop loss near the low of this movement. I am taking pretty fast wins if my position here gets triggered, and then I would take 50% from the table, take my trade with that risk-free, ride the rest higher, and I would like always inform you how I will trail my stop loss. But so far it's not triggered, but looking bullish at the moment. The forward time frame, there's not really much more to say except that you can draw in here the forward downtrend line. We have seen the break, the retest, and then hopefully a continuation. Next on the list, use oil. Use oil on a weekly time frame. We had a long-lasting downtrend, then a break of this monthly downtrend to the upper side. Since then, we are in a weekly corrective move, currently on the lower side of this movement. You could argue see here an A, B, C correction, but yeah, we finally tested point C. It's even slightly lower, I think, so technically this here will now move to point C. If we drop one time frame lower to the daily time frame, yeah, you can see that here. So we have to remove this one from the daily time frame and instead put this here on the, oh sorry, that was a mistake. We have to put this one on the weekly time frame, and from the weekly time frame we have to delete that one out. So that's now point C, lowest point of the movement so far. Maybe that's already the low, double bottom scenario, and we will now break out of this downtrend line here, retest, breaking higher, and then continuing higher. The main thing that has to get broken to the upside is this weekly orange downtrend line. Everything what happens here is nice for a small short trade, but the possibility is always there that we will get rejected again at this weekly downtrend line, and from there on continue then even lower. Not speculating on that one, waiting for a nice breakout, but at the moment no trades. If I would see a breakout out of this, I would wait for a nice retest, and then the break of the retest to the upper side. there I could imagine to get long with a small position. And I would also take partial wins before we reach this weekly downtrend line. So take the trade risk free. If we then break higher, nice. If we reverse, still fine. No capital at risk. That's my view on US oil. Let's continue with gold. Gold still in a bullish rage mode. The 10-week moving average is nicely holding. We even not dipped below that this time. And we just continued and printed just today a new all-time high. Or even, yeah, today we have Monday. So today we got the new all-time high. And long position got triggered with that one. Stop loss a little bit lower. You can see that better on the daily time frame. Here you have the intake white dotted uptrend line, prior all-time high taking out with a nice green candle. Also here 10-day moving average is aligning with price. I want to take partial wins, so half of the position from the table once we reach one time my risk. So that would mean if I sell 50%, my trade is from then on risk free, and then I would trade my stop loss higher. On the 4 time frame, you can see the 4-hour support and resistance zones. I had a long position already here. The breakout higher above this 4-hour support and resistance zone, but then reversed that deep that I wanted to get out on break even without losing any money, and decided to wait for another confirmation. We have that right now, so the all-time high wasn't that hard of a resistance. At least it seems right now like that. And yeah, I'm betting on a continuation higher. For sure we can turn, and yeah, if this white uptrend line breaks, it's pretty likely that my stop loss gets hit, and that's fine. Because of that, I'm managing risk and risking the maximum amount on this trade of 1% of my capital. Then we have Bitcoin against US dollar. Bitcoin on the weekly time frame not looking that good. On the weekly still good because we printed higher highs followed by higher lows so far. The low is not lower than the prior one, so on the weekly technically still an uptrend at the moment. The 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level is holding price from declining lower. On the daily time frame, you can see we broke this weekly uptrend to the downside and pretty significantly retested and bounced lower, still below this daily dotted downtrend line. And until we remain below that one, I'm still bearish. First bullish signs would be a breakout, a retest, and a break of the retest to the upper side. That could mean a reversal in this Bitcoin downtrend. How far that reversal will reach, not sure. Maybe till we reach the next resistance zone. Combination with the 200 moving average could be possible. And yeah, oftentimes then this reverse again, and we continue the overall downtrend, because it seems, or a lot of these technical indicators and price movements speaks for that we have already seen a top for this 4-year cycle. Wasn't my most favorable scenario. I had the hope that we will see higher prices in this cycle, but wishful thinking will not help here. I have to be realistic. So at the moment, no active trading position in Bitcoin. So holding Bitcoin physically, hodl, you know, but trading not at the moment. No pro-cyclic signs here. In the 4 time frame, not really much more to say. We had the flag got broken to the downside. We're now testing the downtrend from the lower side, probably continue lower. Let's continue with the blue flagged ones, because here on these single stocks I changed my stop loss or trail it, and I will inform you quick about these stocks and the current trading status. Starting out with Berkshire here, there we have seen price action. We have seen a higher high, higher low, and now I'm expecting continuation higher. If we fall again below this low and these two smaller lows here, I will get out of the trade. Doesn't mean that from there on we fall like a stone, but we could easily test this daily uptrend line and continue higher. But to the end of the year, I don't want to take any unnecessary risks. This trade was taking also pretty long so far, and if the trade is not profitable and I hold it so long, I don't want to lose a lot of money anymore on this trade. Either it starts going now or I will get out. Then we have here the iShares Essential Metals Producers ETF. That one is going like a planned. We have seen this sideways consolidation, the nice breakout, and then I got long. We continued higher. My stop loss was initially placed below the sideways consolidation, and I moved it to the upper side with an accelerating price. Now the stop loss is placed below this daily uptrend and the daily support zone, and will hopefully not take long anymore to reach my sell limit, where I would sell 50% of my ETF here. So I take the trade risk free and try my stop loss into the winning zone later. Then we have here Reddit. Reddit was breaking the downward line to the upper side. We've seen a smaller setback and then price is higher, getting here above point A, B, C, so above point B. I ended long. Stop loss was initially placed at the breakout level. We have seen an higher high, and now I placed the stop loss slightly higher below this low. First sell limit, again 50% of my position I would sell if I make my risk as profit and take the trade risk free with that, and then the overall take profit target is higher and would run my stop loss also higher. Then the last one where I only changed my stop loss here is triple flag precious metals. Yeah, we have seen a break to new all-time highs. I got long. We corrected to this daily support zone. Nice green candle. Rising prices again. I decided to move my stop loss higher, half of the risk, so only a little bit over $300 and not anymore $600. And either it goes further or I will get out of the trade. At least in the past, if that pattern here repeats, we shouldn't fall below this daily support anymore and continue higher. No guarantees, but history often repeats, and I'm betting most of the time on that. Yeah, here also 50% I would sell once we reach 1 time my risk. So that's all to the stop loss movement. Now we will continue with UPS. UPS, long-lasting downtrend. At the moment we have seen price bounce from a major weekly or even monthly support zone. We moved from, we're still printing lower highs and lower lows, but that looks like a counter trend. Try at least. It tries to rise again higher, and I think a bounce from this major level should be some percentages to the upside. So I decided, after seeing this reversal black pattern and then breaking to the upper side, I entered long, pretty tight stop loss, already sold 50% of my position here and moved my stop loss to my entry level. So I'm definitely not going to lose anything on a trade. In every scenario I have made this profit of $320. My final take profit target would be at $111 per share. and there would sell the next half of my position. Next, Butterfield and Sons Limited Bank. Bank of NT Butterfield and Sons Limited. We are nearing the all-time high from September 2018. And yeah, we have seen a nice break above this daily resistance zone, retest to the 200 moving average and this zone, and then a break of this sideways consolidation to the upper side. I ended long at the breakout, stop loss pretty tight below the breakout zone. So far that went pretty well. At 1R I sell 1/3 of my position, and 2R I sold 2/3 of my position. So I made already a good amount of profit, like you can see. And the rest of the position I would sell slightly below the prior all-time high, because I think that it will act again as resistance. This stock can get again interesting if we see even a break to new all-time highs, maybe with a small corrective move afterwards, and then breaking this corrective move again to the upper side, a little bit like a cup and handle formation. But that's future music. We will see how it develops next year. So far pretty happy with the trade. Moved already my stop loss to my entry level, so I earned on that trade and can't lose anything anymore. Ideal. Next, that was not so ideal, Celsius Holdings. Celsius Holdings daily time frame. Yeah, we have here a major weekly support zone. I thought, okay, price was bouncing from that to the upper side in combination with the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level measured from the low to the high of the prior major movement. And that long went into my direction. I tried my stop loss higher below this 10-day moving average, and we dipped lower and slightly was taking out my stop loss here. Now it turned again to the upper side. Maybe if it breaks this small local high here to the upper side, that could be another long trade opportunity. I'm not taking that now to the end of the year. I think there are better options for capital. And yeah, I lost half of my risk. So what was it? $200 or something like that. No, that was not that one. Yeah, Nikkei. Yeah, not sure where it was. I was risking 0.5% in total, and yeah, I lost half of that. So you can imagine how much it was. Next, Palladium. Palladium, the metal looks way better. We have seen a massive downtrend. That one got broken to the upper side. Long-lasting bottom formation building out. Once we have broken this daily resistance zone to the upper side, and even the corrective move to the upper side, when it was going pretty nicely long, we've seen another corrective move, another downtrend, broken. I went long, stop loss below this corrective movement, and yeah, price exceeded and was taking out the prior high here. And at, yeah, oh, what was it? A bit more, I guess, than one time my risk. Let's check that in detail. One moment. Yeah, 1.5 times my risk, even better. I was taking out 1/3 of the position. I made a profit of $220. Still have a stop loss of 356, so still able to lose on this trade, but not so much anymore. I think we will see a corrective move and then hopefully a continuation, and then taking future profits on the way up or trailing my stop loss higher with price. We will see. Then another not so good trade, Xiaomi. Xiaomi Corporation, yeah, we have broken this weekly resistance to the upper side, made a new all-time high, bounced down, bounced up, bounced down. And yeah, lately we have broken a daily, I don't know why this is blue, daily downtrend line, and I went long after seeing this here. There I went long after this green candle. Stop loss was placed initially below the lowest point of the movement, then later I moved it to the upper side below the 10-day moving average, and that one got taken out now. There I was losing. Here it is, $372. Okay, reduced risk here, not exactly half of my risk, but 65% I would say. And yeah, I think I was a little bit too early. Otherwise, I'm pretty bullish for this stock, especially if we take out this prior high here. That would speak for continuation. So my next trade could be placed maybe here, then with stop loss below the lowest point, and then speculating on higher prices. If you want to be conservative, you wait for the break of the next corrective move. But then a lot, the movement is already in, still good risk reward ratio would that be, but if price develops exactly like that, pretty unlikely. So yeah, probably a candidate for next year, but this year I will sit on my hands tight and not try to trade that one again. Nikkei. Yeah, the Nikkei since a couple of years, nice upward trending, and yeah, lately it got pretty steep. Daily uptrend was intact. We got this corrective move ABC, and then here with this green candle I went long. Stop loss placed initially below this movement, then later, because I don't want to risk so much anymore to the end of the year, I moved my stop loss higher, and there I got stopped out. A small dip below this uptrend line, probably too early here. If we exceed here this local small high to the upper side, I think that speaks for a continuation. I don't will trade that one this year, but maybe if it's not happening this year, I would take that trade for the next year. And yeah, so if you want, you can take that if we reach 51,455 points, but yeah, otherwise you can chill to the end of the year and wait like me for opportunities next year. Maybe then this situation is over, but doesn't matter. There will be other situations, setups, opportunities also in 2026. I'm pretty sure about that. Next, JPMorgan. JPMorgan Chase, yeah, a nice bank here, banking stock, nice uptrend, making a new all-time high right now. And yeah, it's a nice sideways consolidation on a pretty high level. The lows are getting higher and tighter, so yeah, pretty nice setup. I like these ones a lot. If we get a nice solid breakout, then I would like to take this trade, even if I don't want to take that many trades to the end of the year at the moment. But yeah, 50% I would take 50% from the table, so then I would be risk free, and the rest I will ride higher. That can happen easily today, tomorrow, or yeah, before Christmas. And I like the setups. This setup for me, that's one of the best setups. Because of that, I'm taking that. Not like the Nikkei. There, I just chill and wait, and I don't care. But here, I like what I see. JBL. JBL or Jebel Inc. JBL sounds better. On a daily time frame, similar situation, not exactly that clean like JPMorgan, but similar. Yeah, we got a corrective move, higher low. If we exceed now to the upper side and print a new all-time high, would like to get long stop loss. Yeah, nearly the low, below the low of this corrective move. definitely below the midpoint of the sideways consolidation. That's enough. Also here, if I reach one time my risk, I would sell 50% of the position to get the trade risk free. Next on the list, Intuitive Surgical. Intuitive Surgical Inc. on a daily time frame, nice uptrending chart. We have here a major ABC correction all the way down to this weekly uptrend line. We have a program with a massive gap to the upside. The downtrend line, we found hold at this daily resistance and support zone. There we are sideways consolidating. At the moment we are trying to break to the upper side. MACD crossing, or not yet, but it will probably cross to the upside, is supporting the idea. Stop loss would be placed below the sideways consolidation, and I would sell nearly 50% of the position if I reach 1 times more risk, so a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, and the rest I will trade higher. Lockheed Martin Corporation, also nice uptrend. Lately we've seen a lot of price volatility here, violating even with this weekly uptrend line, but looks like just a fake out. We broke this daily downtrend to the upper side, tested again. The weekly uptrend line respected it, bounced higher above this daily secondary downtrend line. We printed also in white, and yeah, it seems like this corrective move ending at the 200 moving average will break also higher. They would like to get long in this stock. Stop loss pretty tight below the 200 moving average, and this small corrective move to the broken downtrend line. I would take half of the position from the table as soon as we reach 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. Taking trade risk free, right, rest higher, same concept. Next, ARK Artificial Intelligence and Robotics ETF. ARK Artificial Intelligence and Robotics ETF. We have a nice uptrending chart here. Lately we have seen the break of the daily uptrend, but the price got rejected from the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level to the upper side, right above this support and resistance zone. We came back, tested this resistance turning support zone, and now we got rejected higher, and it seems like we would like to take out this small retest here. That would be bullish in my view. I would like to get long here, stop loss below this retest, and then trade the position higher. I would take also here, even if the order is not in yet, would take 50% of the position from the table if I made my risk. Palantir Technologies, uptrending chart, definitely. We struggle at the moment a little bit at the upper side. We have here a daily resistance and support zone. A couple of times resistance getting rejected. Once we broke above it, we broke directly below it, continued lower. Now we tested it again, got rejected, and broke again higher above it. For me, that was a sign to get long again in this stock. The second time I'm trying this here, and stop loss pretty tight below this corrective move. If we fall below that, I'm getting out of the trade, and I think if we fail here, we will continue also lower till we reach this weekly uptrend and this weekly support zone. But yeah, hopefully S&P 500 breaking to the upper side, risk assets are appreciating, then Palantir should also continue higher. I would sell to be sure or safe, risk averse 50% of the position once I reach my risk as profit. Would be an all-time high in Palantir. And last but not least, Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce Holdings have nothing to do anymore with the luxury car Rolls-Royce. No, we are talking here about a defense, and even also I think it's atomic energy, nuclear energy, so it's the word in English, sorry for that. And yeah, it's had a nice run in the year, so it's a candidate to get bought by institutionals and funds to the end of the year. We have seen some sideways consolidation on the higher price level. The daily downward line, we also, and white is broken to the other side already. We are correcting at the moment a little bit. If we break above this small corrective move, we will probably see it better on the forward time frame. And this prior high here, I would like to get long, even if that's not an all-time high for the stock. But I think the likelihood of continuation is then high, and I would place my stop loss, or it's already placed below this daily support zone here and this small corrective move. Risking 0.5% again, and then I would sell 50% again if I make my risk as profit and take the trade risk-free, right rest higher. And you can see how well the stock went in the past. We could ride that far, hopefully, because the volatility in between is not that huge. So I think that could be a stock where it's pretty easy to trail the stop loss higher and higher and higher. Yeah, that's all I have for this weekly update. For holding myself short, I think it was pretty long. And yeah, I wish you all a happy Christmas if you celebrate that. Otherwise, hopefully a nice free day or days with the family. And we will hear us afterwards for the new year, I promise. And yeah, I have a couple of updates for you. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Till then, bye bye.